I'm gonna be reviewing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Is it good? Is it bad? Let's find out. Uh, First, I'm gonna talk about the presentation of the game. It is very gorgeous. It is the most beautiful looking game this generation. I feel like. I'm sure people are gonna disagree with me all day about it, but I do think it looks gorgeous to me. The engine is very similar to that of the MGS4 engine, so they could keep some of the aspects and uh, style from that game, so it fits right into the series, and it works. It looks like a Metal Gear title from beginning to end. It feels like a Metal Gear title. Uh, through their presentation, you kind of get the idea that Platinum Games really put a lot of effort into trying to uh, stay true to the source material, and that is really the one thing I really respect about this game. Is there's a lot of care and a lot of effort put into this game. That's like, well, this is a Metal Gear title, and a lot of Metal Gear fans are gonna be looking at this and judging it, and dissecting it and all this stuff, and they really went out of their way to try to make it try to stick true to the Metal Gear formula, which it does. I mean, it doesn't. I've never sat there and felt like, oh, this isn't Metal Gear. I'm leaving or anything. I never got the sense of disappointment or disgust or anything. It was just from beginning to end, I knew what I was getting. But at the same time, though, it does introduce some new stuff. A lot of goofy, quirky humor into the story. Even into the story, there's some goofy, quirky stuff in it, and that still fits in. Like, it doesn't ever feel like it's trying too hard to be something that it's not. It's well aware of what it is, and it's very fun to experience all that goofiness. And goofiness, it doesn't mean that's bad. To me, it is a very good sense of goofiness. It's not like goofiness as like a clown at a circus or something. It's goofy in the sense that it's almost a parody of Metal Gear almost. And it does it in a very respectable way. It's not insulting, it's not degrading, and it's not like Devil May Cry, the new DMC, where they go so far away from the original source material that it upsets a lot of old hardcore fans of the series or anything like that. It doesn't stray too far from what it is. And that's really what I liked about it, is that it didn't try to be something that it wasn't. So then that leads me to the gameplay, because the gameplay introduces a lot of new stuff that was never been in a Metal Gear game, which is obviously the hack and slash mechanics. Obviously, a game like this, there's a strong focus to action, and you get that from the beginning. So there's no, because as soon as you pick up and start playing the game, they pretty much throw a Metal Gear Ray at you to fight. As soon as that happens, you kind of know what you're getting in the game. But yeah, the action aspect of the game is very well done. It's not stupid. It's not easy. It's really challenging. It's actually, to me, if Metal Gear Solid was ever an action game, this would be that title. Because it's as challenging as those other Metal Gear games are. Like when you play like Metal Gear Solid 3 or 4, when you try to go through the game sneaking, it is so hard to sneak in that game. And when you nail sneaking down and you get through an area without getting alerted, that's so rewarding. That translates so well into Rising as an action game, where you are throwing a lot of enemies all at once, and you're just fighting all these guys off. And then once you defeat that section, you just get this big satisfaction out of it. And the action, and that's really where the strong points are, is the action of the game really brings out all the great points of the combat and the combo system. The combo system is very simple. X is your like medium attack, Y is your like X is your like medium light attack, and the Y button is your heavy attack, the really strong attacks. The other thing that they throw in is a free blade mode, which at first, when I saw it in trailers and I started looking at it, and a lot of other people had the same issue where they felt that was a little bit overpowered in the sense that you can instantly slice up enemies into bits and just instantly kill them. But the way that they did it was they balanced it so nicely in the sense that you shouldn't be relying on that, because you have a meter on how many times you can use it, and when you do use it, you leave yourself vulnerable to other enemies that can easily knock you out of it. And there are some enemies that can just fight right through it. Where using that free blade mode doesn't really necessarily kill them instantly. So its balance is not overpowered. And the game punishes you for overusing it almost. So to me, you only use it as a finishing move, or if you're looking for health, then you go to a small enemy and then you just cut open their bodies and rip up their nanomachine spines. Which leads into the other concept that even the original Rising game was touting, which is called Zandatsu, which translates to a cut and take principle, which is that free blade mode lends itself to. When you enter free blade mode, it works easier with the weaker soldier types, where you'll see a little square rectangle in the middle of their bodies, and if you slice right in that box area, you can pull out their cyborg spines and absorb their power pretty much to replenish your health and replenish your free blade gauge, whatever that thing's called. Uh, there's that Zandatsu mechanic. You can do it on almost any enemy type. Some of them might be a little bit more resistant to it, where it won't show up. You just have to like get them to a staggering position almost, and it works, and it's so much fun and rewarding when you nail it. And that's another thing with the gameplay with Metal Gear Rising is it is the most satisfactory game. Like you feel so satisfied when you pull off combos and when you annihilate so many soldiers and Metal Gears and all that stuff. Like it feels so rewarding, and it is really what all hack and slashes strive to be almost. To me, I would say it's a combination of No More Heroes and Vanquish almost. And okay, so that's the gameplay. The story. This is something that a lot of people were arguing and saying, the story to me, I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting a Metal Gear Solid 4, 3 Peace Walker kind of story. I wasn't expecting to get deep, intricate stories that has themes and tones and all this crazy stuff. Rising is more of as I said, it's almost like a satire of the game, so it really focuses a lot of the melodrama almost, but does it in a way that's not prissy or just or high schoolish or whatever. It feels very well developed, and it doesn't feel overly dramatic. The story is very well done for what it is, because the story realizes what it is. There are some goofy moments within the story, but at the same time, though, that those story moments are very entertaining. Like again, like as I said earlier, you fight a Metal Gear Ray and you slice up Metal Gear Ray in half, and you do all that kind of stuff. And as soon as you really do that, you pretty much jump the shark in the beginning of the game, and and as soon as I saw that, I got used to it. So I kind of expected to see that. So as soon as I saw Raiden chopping off a Ray model, I kind of knew where the story was going, and the story knows that. The story knows it is a very goofy story that's not meant to be taken too seriously. There are moments where it can be taken seriously, and there's moments that aren't really meant to be taken seriously. So it has a nice little balance between serious and not-serious. So there's a lot of nods to other Metal Gear games, and longtime fans will really appreciate the nods to those other previous Metal Gear games, while newcomers can just hop right in and not worry about prior knowledge. I mean, yeah, they reference some stuff from other games, but it doesn't alienate other people. So that's really what I liked about it. It was so open. It felt true to the franchise, and it didn't stray too far from what it was. So I do recommend it if you're a big hack and slash fan. If you love Devil May Cry, if you love Bayonetta, if you love anything Platinum Games does, pick up Rising. Do yourself a favor, go buy this game. If you're still on the fence, I would just say rent it. The campaign is 5 hours long, but to me that almost benefits the game, because because the entire campaign is done in a very arcadic kind of way, where you are just going through the campaign, just trying to rack up points and using those points to unlock other skills and items and all this stuff. So it's a really arcadic kind of title, and it lends itself that way nicely. So that's why I think the short campaign kind of works in its favor. as opposed to if MGS4 was this long, I think that would just be a terrible idea. But Rising really lends itself out to be a very short campaign because you're meant to be playing this game multiple times. So I give it a 8 out of 10. I really, 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 really love this game. So take it as you will. I mean, there's some flaws. I think sometimes when you do the Free Blade mode, there's some little errors I feel like that the game makes, but at the same time, though, it's not enough for me to stop playing. So yeah, again, it's a really great game. I really do recommend it if you love just hacking things up with your sword. It's really fun. It's really rewarding. So that's it for this review. See you next time.